Hi everyone, this video is going to be going over write-ups and after the coding stage, how to decide if something is a case or not, and just going through that write-up process. So just like always, the first thing that we're going to do is check the weekly email from Dr. Hrushka, which will have all the attachments that are important for the week. So first things first, it's team-based again, team-based research. So I want to open the code book, which is this document, and um, check the team. So I'm looking for my name. All right, awesome. I'm on team 3. So next I'm going to be opening the weekly write-up ethnicities. And I know I'm on team 3. So again, just looking on the left. All right. So I have been assigned the Konde of Zambia, and I'm looking at forced away and lethal violence. So I like to just take it one at a time. It's up to you, but I'm going to start with forced away here. So forced away for the Konde in Zambia. And you'll see here that Dr. Harushka writes, please see individual coder spreadsheets in week 2 comparison sheet. So the week 2 comparison sheet will be attached. And anything in red is just kind of the ones that the team maybe had disagreements on or coded differently. And so it's important to pay attention to that. But I'm looking, all right, so I see that team 2 coded the Konde, and I'm looking for forced away. Forced away is the first one in the code book. So I can see here that 75% of team 2 coded yes for this. So now I'm going to be looking at, he says, look at the individual ones. So down here, you'll be able to see the individual codes. So that is team 1. That is, let's try to find someone on team 2 here. 1 moment. All right, this looks like someone who did team 2. So team 2, Konde, forced away. See, this is awesome because they coded yes, and they included where they found that information, which I explained in the coding video is very important. So that was super easy for me. Now I was able to just click on it, and they have attached it here. So I'm going to read through this source, see why they coded it, and start filling out the write-up document, which we have the write-up guideline document put in the shared Google Drive. So it'll look something like this. Very important for at the header, you put what discrimination types that you are coding. Next, the rest of the heading. So country, Zambia. Group, Konde. Date, this was when I did this. My name, and then my team and my team members' names. So for anything, this is all really important information for us to keep things organized. So on top of what this person provided me with their source, I can also refer to any of the useful sources that we provide in the code book. All of these, the document that they provided was not one of these, but that's okay because they provided the source. So I can do my own research on top of that just to see if there's anything else that would be helpful to this case study. So once I've researched, I'm gonna start filling this out. So I like to start here with the content warnings. This can be anything that might be triggering for someone, some sensitive information. This is something new to the lab, and we're very open to questions about it if you ever have a question. So content warnings for this. With the information I found, I thought that forced away, the code itself, is sensitive information, as well as slavery or forced labor. So very important, this section, background historical context. So I like to organize mine by my source for anyone that might be looking at this. So at the bottom here, you'll see my sources, and they're numbered and alphabetized. And I have 1, 2. So here I know that as I'm looking through, all right, this has a 2 in front of it, so it came from the second source listed in the bibliography. So just giving some background, the Konde people were formed from 3 clans of migrants who arrived in the northwestern part of Zambia. Farmers, hunters have a culture that treasures spirits, and the slave trade impacted their group. So that's what that source told me, and that's some good background historical context. So is there evidence? This is straight out of the guideline, but is there evidence of discrimination that can be replaced with, is there evidence of forced away? How does evidence support the conditions? Classic who, what, when, where, why, all very important information. So I wrote, yes, there is evidence of the Conde being forced away. And again, I have a 2 here, so people reading this know it's from that second source. So estimated to be in the late 1700s, the Lunda forced the Conde away because they wanted to control the region as the Lunda Empire was expanding. Additionally, during the 1800s, the slave trade arrived in their region and the Conde were raided by the Yeke from the Congo, which forced them to move south. So that's some pretty concrete information there that I would definitely include in code as a yes. So that was unfortunately all I found. That was straight from the source that was given by the coder, which is super helpful, but still we found it, so it's important to include and worth writing up. So current situation. Sometimes it's really difficult to find some information on current situation when it's a small percentage of the country's population. But I did not find any evidence on the Conde dealing with forced away discrimination type today. I didn't find any information on their current situation at all. So all I know from my first source here in my bibliography is that the Conde make up approximately 4% of the Zambian population today. And I just wanted to include that because that's all I could find about the current. So clearly there's not a lot of data here, which is why I gave this a 1 out of 3. Extremely limited. The 2 sources listed were blogs, not completely reliable, not peer-reviewed articles. So very important to include that. And my bibliography here. So this is just a document that you fill out on your own time throughout the week, and then you come back and discuss it with your team members and say, hey, what was the time period of the information that you found? What did you find for background? And just having a discussion about it. And, maybe somebody found something really great that you didn't find or didn't have access to. So this is a pretty simple process of just teamwork and setting us up to succeed, to do what the ultimate goal of the lab is to code and identify these ethnic disparities. So the next process after this would be writing a synthesis. So it's great to just be as descriptive as possible in these. And lastly, before I turn it in, I'm going to write Conde forced away KD, and then I turn it in the Google Drive under my team and that week. So again, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me or any of the lab liaisons and leaders, and we're more than happy to help.